morning, everyone, and welcome to a lovely episode of Daybreak. I'm Colleen Winder.
And I'm Juliana Brock. We hope that everyone here at Point Park had a relaxing time over their spring break, even if it was a little bit shorter than we would have liked.
With spring break behind us, it's time to transition into a second half of our semester. As you'll see later in the show, this means that things on campus are getting very busy.
Aside from our updates, you'll also hear about new developments in the upcoming presidential election in this week's PolitiSmack.
I don't know about you, but we're ready to kick things into high gear. Wake up and smell the coffee, Pittsburgh, because Daybreak starts right now. Welcome back, everyone.
To start out our episode, let's hear about what's new on campus.
Point Park's Black Student Union is kicking off another themed event, this time parodying the cooking show Chopped. BSU Marketing Officer Drew Williams explained that, quote, the Chopped event is going to be on-campus cooking competition with ingredients provided by the Pioneer Pantry, end quote. This isn't the first time the BSU has held this event, as its popularity broadened especially with their willingness to collaborate with other organizations. Chopped will be held in the Lawrence Hall lobby on Monday, March 18th from 7 to 9 p.m. If you want the chance to host, cook, or judge, visit the link tree on the BSU Instagram at pointpark_BSU.
There are two things that are green that take place right outside of our very own school on Boulevard of the Allies, those being Picklesburg and the St. Patrick's Day Parade. And lucky for you all, St. Patrick's Day Parade is coming up soon. On Saturday, March 16th, starting at 10 a.m., the parade will begin. Starts at the intersection of Liberty Avenue and 11th Streets, turns down Grant Street, then comes right down the center of our very own campus. This is a great time to get festive and come see one of the largest parades in the nation. It's true, it's one of the largest. In fact, Travel, Leisure, and Niche ranked St. Patrick's Day to be best celebrated in Pittsburgh, even though only 15% of the population is actually Irish. With more than 200 floats and bands to walk the 1.4-mile stretch, it is something you cannot miss, and it's absolutely worth the early morning wake up. There are tons of events leading up to the parade and events throughout the rest of March, so get your green on and go feel the luck, Pioneers.
Point Park's Campus Activity Board, Strong Women and Strong Girls, and the Pioneer Records will be collaborating for a Women's History Month showcase named Empower Her, a Female Showcase, which will take place Monday, March 11th from 6 to 8 p.m. in Lawrence Hall 200. The event will present female talent throughout the campus that are, quote, making their own history, end quote. This will include live performances from dance to music. Come celebrate the amazing women at Point Park for this month's Women's History Month.
Are you going to St. Patrick's Day Parade?
I will be. I'm very excited.
Yes.
This is my first time.
First time? Where were you last year?
I was sleeping.
Oh. Fair enough. Like I said, it is kind of an early morning wake-up call, but it's worth it. I had the best time last year. Honestly, probably too much fun. Like, I enjoyed it because, I don't know, something about, like, you can feel the music in your chest when it's so close to you.
Ooh,
And
that's
I'm
good.
like, yes. And, you know, what a time to get festive and just enjoy it. And
especially like the whole community and the
Yes.
fact that it passes by the campus. I mean, I heard it last time.
Yeah.
It sounded great.
It's so awesome. And all the dancers, and then there's even live animals there were last time. Like, they had goats, they had dogs, they had all kinds of animals.
That's
and
crazy.
I was all over it. I was like, yes! And I got to pet a goat. Yes, I kid you not, I pet a goat.
That's so cute.
Yeah, so I think it's definitely worth it. And yeah, like I said, of the two green things that take place on Boulevard of the Allies, it's so convenient. Like Picklesburg, too good. I love
Pittsburgh
Picklesburg.
goes all out for their parades.
It really
It
does.
truly is. Along with Point Park, they do go out all for the events,
Yep.
especially the BSU. I'm so excited for that.
I need to go. I'm so excited.
I know. I'm just like helping out. I think the BSU really has been making moves this semester and this year.
Yes, because with the fashion show and now all of these live performances, I'm so proud to see
and they
them
have like
kicking
a
it
whole
off.
March Madness lineup. I think it's real. Like, you guys should go to these events. They sound so fun.
Yeah.
And with the other speakers, I'm actually genuinely, I love that Point Park has speakers.
Yeah.
I think it's a great, and the fact that so many organizations, I mean, like I swear like 2 or 3 organizations just popped up this semester and they're making moves. They're bringing in speakers just for everyone in every major. I think it's a really good breakthrough for students at Point Park.
Honestly, and I couldn't agree more. And then I love the opportunity to do Chopped. I believe we did it last year, maybe. I can't remember if we did something of that along those lines. But I like that idea. I think it's really cool. And
It's gonna be so cute.
I can't cook. I can't do anything like that, but I'll be there to watch. That's for sure.
I've been told I should go on Worst Cooks in America.
Well, you know what? I'll support you on there. I'll support you. We'll
Thank
be on
you.
it together.
Yes!
All right.
After the break, we'll transition to this week's local news.
But be sure to stick around to the end. We promise you'll regret skipping this week's Ray of Sunshine.
See you in a bit. Daybreak will be right back.
We hope you enjoyed the break.
Now that we're all caught up on campus news, it's time to hear about what's been happening in the Berg.
Pittsburgh police have announced changes to their protocols and hours that Chief Larry Soroto claims will better serve the community. The changes went effective on Monday, March 4th, where officers will have 10-hour workdays 4 days a week, with 1 hour set aside for mental health. Between the hours of 3 a.m. to 7 a.m., there will be no officer at the desk, and lower priority calls will be directed to a telephone reporting unit. For burglary calls, second confirmation is needed before officers are sent to the scene due to a high number of false alarms. Officers will be removed from their desks and out on the streets to patrol the areas. So far, there are 740 officers with anticipation to bring in more, as the budget allows for 850. There will also be a violent crime initiative made up of 17 officers. This model has been implemented in other cities and has shown success, but the changes raise many questions and comments from the public. According to WTAE-TV, Soroto stated, quote, "For the first time, the department used data to inform their decisions on where patrols should be dedicated, what zone sizes should look like, and how many hours of work to the number of personnel that are working during those hours," end quote. Many argue this is a chance for the officers to get more time off and relax, and others argue that this is a dangerous choice, opening up the possibility for more crime to take place. For now, the city waits to see how these protocols will work over time.
A sexual assault took place near the University of Pittsburgh this weekend with the suspect still unknown. Pittsburgh police have now released a surveillance video of the incident to ask for the public to assist in identifying the man in question. Pitt's campus police have also issued an alert despite the assault happening off campus to uplift safety resources. The man in the video is described as as between 30 and 40 years old with a thin build, 5'6" or 5'7", and was last seen wearing a long black sleeve shirt, cargo pants, and a ski mask, end quote. If you have any information about the incident, make sure to call 911 or the Pittsburgh Police Department at 412-422-6520.
A firefighter from South Strabane placed 5th in her division in the World's Strongest Firefighter competition. Wendy Wenzel, a firefighter EMT for South Strabane, competed this past weekend in the World's Strongest Firefighter competition. The competition took place from February 29th until March 3rd in Columbus, Ohio. South Strabane Fire Department posted to Facebook on Sunday congratulating Wenzel for, quote, "competing in several grueling tasks that test the strength and determination of each participant," end quote. The contest was part of the Arnold Sports Festival and is an annual event. Wenzel has been training hard and plans to compete again next year. South Strabane posted for her to keep up the strong work and keep making them proud. Well, I think that the firefighter competition is so amazing.
It is. It's really cute. I
Right.
feel like they get to show their skills.
Right, because I mean, I know that they really work hard to get all of the, they have a lot to train for. So I think that the fact they get to not so much show it off, but be able to have like friendly competition for it. And the fact that she won, you go girl, because that's awesome. Yes. That's so awesome. And I just love to see it.
On an
I was just going to say.
unawesome note, what's been happening in the downtown Pittsburgh in general it's been confusing and upsetting.
Right, and I feel like, I respect whatever changes they make because I'm not in the force. I don't understand it as much as they do. So whatever benefits them personally is what matters. It's just awful timing. I think that, they announced this and then something like this happens. Like, I believe it happened late at night.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, oh, ruh-roh. We haven't even, it just kicked into place Monday and now this happened. I'm not sure when this took place again.
This took place earlier this week, pretty recently.
So it was Monday or Tuesday night, I believe, that this happened. But, it's just a little freaky, but we're just going to have to wait and see what happens because we can't jump to conclusions, honestly.
We can't, but safety, I'm glad that the Point Park Police is ready for any situation. They do come pretty timely, especially in moments where sometimes you want the comfort of police. I'm glad that this campus has police that we can call for because things are scary out there. Genuinely,
they really are.
They really are.
Like, no matter where you are, but I feel like a city environment, like when you're down in the center, but no matter the city, it just is higher tense.
Yes.
It has more characters than you would expect to see. So
be careful and research resources other than the police, especially if they're putting this into place. I'd say look at all the resources online that you can for certain situations because there are out there and there are in Pittsburgh.
Right. And I mean, I sympathize for the college student that this happened to, and I really hope that it doesn't happen again. I hope that they find the guy and this puts an end to that because, I feel like with most college campuses, this might happen more than we expect, than we are
prepared to deal with.
Yeah, than we are prepared to deal with. So it's just,
please stay safe.
So stay safe. Yeah.
Yep. Before we smack this week's political news with reporter Ethan Rowinski, it's time for another break.
Stay tuned. You won't want to miss what we have in store.
It's a tough crowd.
Welcome back to PolitiSmack. I'm Ethan Rowinski. On March 6th, the biggest primary election day took place with over 15 states going to the polls to nominate candidates. With no surprise, Donald Trump handily swept the polls, winning every single state except Vermont, which went to Nikki Haley. Her losses range from state to state. Her smallest loss was in Utah, where she lost by 15 percentage points. Compare that to Alabama, where Haley only had 13% of the votes, compared to Trump's 83% victory. With these startling losses, Haley officially terminated her campaign the next morning. Unlike other former Republican nominee hopefuls who have dropped out, Haley refused to fully endorse Donald Trump, instead saying, quote, "It is now up to Donald Trump to earn the votes of those in our party and beyond it who did not support him, and I hope he does that," end quote. This statement is partly in reference to Trump's previous comments that Haley supporters would be, quote, "permanently barred," end quote, from the Trump campaign. He also appeared to mock her in a Truth Social post, saying, quote, "At this point, I hope she stays in the race and fights till the end," end quote. With Haley now out of the race, Trump and his allies are now fully moving into the general election. The RNC has named Trump the presumptive nominee. Mitch McConnell, who formerly condemned Trump for his actions on January 6th, also commented that due to Trump's overwhelming support from voters, quote, "It should come as no surprise that as a nominee, he has my support," end quote. Biden and his team are now working to frame the candidates in sharp contrast, with the current president asking Americans in a statement on Tuesday, quote, "Are we going to keep moving forward, or will we allow Donald Trump to drag us backwards into the chaos, division, and darkness that defined his term in office," end quote. What a crazy night, guys. I mean, lots of voters and lots of results, and now it's clearly, Trump versus Biden.
Yep, back at it where it was again 4 years ago.
No, exactly, yeah.
Right, so it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Now, what do you think the future for Nikki Haley looks like?
Yeah, Haley's officially out of the race, and with her, her voters are especially, there's a lot of, wondering where her voters will go, because she does, obviously she has a lot of Republican backing, but she also had a very strong independent voter base going for her. And so, a South Carolina exit poll had about 40% of voters said they would not support Donald Trump. And with Donald Trump's comments saying, how he wanted her voters to be permanently barred from his campaign, it's wondering, will those same voters still come over to support him, or will they end up going to Joe Biden?
Well, how do you think he's going to win them over? He said a comment like that, now what?
It's almost the question of, does he have to win those candidates? He already has such a strong backing, and in a lot of exit polls, in nearly every single one, at minimum, Trump is currently ahead by around 5 percentage points, and at max, you can look at more independent polls, and he's up 10, 15 percentage points. So it's going to be really, when it comes to November, it's going to be, right now it's currently looking towards Trump, and it's the question of, will Biden be able to push past, all the concerns about his age and his mental well-being.
Yeah. Do you think it's also an obstacle that Joe Biden might have to appeal to Nikki Haley voters? But I don't think the appeal would be towards him. If anything, with the amount of independent candidates, I know we have a major candidate that's running for independent that people are considering, but now as the election is moving closer, I see more people, at least online, popping up saying, hey, I'm running for election. Like, here's why you should vote for me. Do you think those voters from Nikki Haley are going to go to independents versus Joe Biden? Because it seems kind of improbable.
Yeah, third-party candidates always struggle with, gaining voter base. You do have people like Cornel West and RFK Jr. who do have some strong backings, but, it's just the question of, will they be able in general to gain these high votes? And to get people towards the Biden campaign, the Nikki Haley campaign manager made a Twitter post this morning about how, comparing Trump's comments about how, how the crazy Haley, they're barred from my campaign, compared to Biden's comments he made where he wants them to be like, hey, you guys didn't vote for her, but come support my campaign so we can keep Trump out of office.
I think that's a really good move.
Yeah. So, we'll see if it pans out well for the campaign in the next coming months. And, you can check out the results on, UV's election show come November, so be sure to stick around for that.
Oh, yeah, it'll definitely be interesting and something you don't want to miss.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, thanks so much, Ethan.
You're welcome. Thank you.
As we transition back to classes from our much too short spring break, we thought that we could use this week's Ray of Sunshine as a way to reminisce on our little vacation.
In case you've forgotten, Ray of Sunshine is our way of starting off your day with a smile. While we might not be on break anymore, this little canine is living his best life and enjoying some fun in the sun. Let's check it out.
I just asked Luna if she wanted to go to the beach, and she's really excited.
Assistant in their dream.
You wanna go to the beach? You wanna go to the beach? You're free.
Running down to the riptide, taken away to the dark side. I wanna be your left-hand man. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. Is this movie that I think you like?
Okay, well, for starters, if I went to the beach, I'd have beach zoomies too, because
Please.
I am desperate to go to the beach.
Desperate.
Yes.
Desperate.
Oh, that is so precious, and I love the little contraption that she rides behind.
It's like a little buggy.
I know. Like, I would love to take my dog in that, but I'd be so worried too.
That's a really well-behaved dog.
I know.
My dog would have took off miles.
My dog would have been terrified of it. She wouldn't even gotten in.
She would have been gone.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see people going to the beach with their dog.
Know.
Let's
I
go
mean,
to the beach.
Honestly, we're gonna go to the beach because they had some nice weather there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to find out where that is and go because
Sorry, spring break.
Yeah.
Here comes summer.
I know, because what, 7 weeks left now? We are close. We're nearing the end.
And everyone deserves to go to the beach after finals.
We're gonna be day breaking it on the beach. That's what we're
Hey.
talking about. Woo!
That's all we have for this episode of Daybreak. We wish you the best of luck as we all tough our way through the second half of the semester.
As usual, don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at UView Television. Until next time, I'm Juliana Brock.
And I'm Colleen Winder, hoping your news is great news. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.